Hello everyone and welcome back. Just got back from the tent after doing 2 nights and like 3 days trying to catch some crayfish. And I can't say that I did real well, but you know what? I probably have 10 pounds, I don't know, maybe 8 pounds there. And luckily Melissa ordered a whole bunch of shrimp in from Louisiana Crawfish Company, which is in this cooler right here. 10, 20, 30, maybe she got 40 pounds of shrimp. And pork and alligator sausage. I really want to try that. So in this shortened version of a farmhouse video, we're going to do a boil tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I'm going to go up and get some 30-pound cylinders of propane filled up. We're going to do a full crawfish, shrimp with the corn and potatoes and everything boil. I want to go in there and get that power station and air conditioner thing opened up. I'm going to do that yet tonight so it can get charged up, and we're going to give that air conditioner a try tomorrow in the fish house camper. Alright guys, well, I'm out into the workshop right now, like I talked about in a previous video. This is the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max. It's one of these charging systems, and when I get a lot of emails for me to do these things, to get them and use them and do a video on them, and I'm horrible doing videos on this stuff. So, and I admit that right from the start, but this one, it had things that Melissa and I can really use, especially like in the fish house camper or whatever, because it comes with it. It's got an air conditioner, which I talked about in the last video. That's the EcoFlow Wave 2. And I didn't realize that it's not only a 5100 air conditioner, it's also a heater. You can switch it. So I just found that out. They sent me links of other people that have done reviews. And there are some reviews on this thing that are like a million times more detailed than anything I'm going to do. Because for me, when I do videos, it's like I tell them, you know, I'm just going to use it, and either it works good or it doesn't. And you guys know that about me. You know, I don't like unboxings. I don't like any of that kind of stuff. But I will use a product, and if it's a good product, I will stand by that company. And just, you know, you see my stuff I use for work, for tools. I stick with the same brand. You know, that's just the way I am. And this one here really looked like a pretty decent deal. And the more I watch those videos, trying to get myself more informed and educated about it, it's like, wow, this has stuff that I didn't even know when they were sending me emails. So what I want to do right now, though, is since tomorrow is when we usually spend time out there, and that's when I want to kind of test it the first time. Granted, today it got to like 83 degrees. Tomorrow is going to be in the upper 60s or low 70s. So it's not going to be as hot, but inside the camper, it always gets hot. So instead of having the rooftop air on, I'd like to use this if I can get it set up right. But the first thing I want to do is get it charged up. It comes with the solar panel. They sent the 220 watt solar panel. In some of the videos I was watching, they were using 400 watt. And the one guy even had 2 400 watt. And I mean, that would charge it up a lot faster. So but right now I just want to get the batteries charged up. We'll kind of take a look at this. And then as the videos go on, like I talked about in that previous video, towards the end of September, like the last third of September, Melissa and I are going to this big ice fishing extravaganza thing that isn't on the ice. It's just they all get together and they camp, live bands, food, vendors. And usually when you go to like a campground, like I was saying in that last video, Melissa and I would like to do that, but you can get a spot if you're going to like boondock versus if you have, you know, full hookups, power and everything. Which is fine, I can run my generator, but if you're in a federal or a state camp, you know, quiet time is, in most camps, quiet time is 10 o'clock at night till 8 o'clock in the morning. So even if you have a generator going, you should shut that off. And if we have something like this, because usually when you're camping, it's hot out, and Melissa cannot stand when it's hot. She just cannot, she will feel sick from the heat. And if you can't have the generator going, you're not going to be running that rooftop air conditioner. Something like the EcoFlow Wave 2 would be perfect because that can just run off of this battery. Or actually it comes with its own battery, but we can also hook it up to this so it's running all of it. And I was watching some of those videos and it said like in eco mode, you can run that if the temperature is set at the right place for up to 8 hours on that battery. I saw another one where it ran for 4 hours. And like I told Melissa, she said, well, the true test is will it cool all night long, which we won't know until we're, go to that camping thing. And I said, well, 4 hours is pretty much all the sleep I get. I usually get 5 or 6 hours. So I'm fine. And she goes, well, I can go plug it in or put the other battery in it or something for her. But on that eco mode, the one said it would run for 8 hours. That's totally impressive to me. It really is. I see I've got a book here to show me how to use it. I did watch those videos. EcoFlow Delta 2 Max Quick Start Guide. I imagine this box is going to have my plug-ins and my solar cable. I see on this side there's 2 places that say extra battery port, and I believe in one of the other videos they showed where you can, get another one of these and link them together and really have a long runtime, I guess my computer little panel's over here, and then up here is where we would plug it in. So let me just get this plugged in right now. I kind of just want to get everything open right now and plugged in. And like I said, I'm much better at talking about this stuff once I'm using it, because right now I'm looking at something that I've never seen before. So we're looking at it plugged in. The battery came 30% charged. And it looks like the recharge time is going to be 1 hour to get it up to full. I'm just looking at this because, I have to learn how to use it. And I'm looking, it said Smart Extra Battery up to 2 units, which are sold separately. So maybe you get a whole another battery that plugs in there, so you can add it on. But the cool thing I saw in another video, and I didn't even know this until I watched that, and they make a smart generator. It's a dual fuel, and you hook it up, and when this battery gets too low, the generator will kick on for you. So you could be sleeping and have this outside and running your thing, and when a battery gets too low, that generator will kick on, which wouldn't work if you're boondocking, but anywhere else it would. And it'll charge that battery for you, and the generator will then power everything that it's running. I thought that was super cool. I don't know what that would cost, but I bet you that would be really cool. And this thing has 3,400 output power. There's like a boost power for that. I was watching that. I think it's like 2,000, capacity is 2,048 watt hours. So that's a big battery. I'm just looking at this last email that they sent me, because I put it up on the other video, and then all I said was it was an EcoFlow. I don't even know what I put in the description. And they said, one important thing, the product name is EcoFlow Delta 2 Max. Can you please correct the video title and description? I can fix the description, but I can't correct the video title, because once I upload it, I would have to take the video totally down, re-edit it, that part of it, and then render the whole thing again, and then upload it again, and then all the views on the first video would be gone. But I will correct it and all these other ones. I'm trying to see, this is a battery that goes on the Wave 2. It goes underneath it, and which gives it a real long runtime. And I was trying to see, we got the Delta 2 Max, the Wave 2, but I really don't see anything about the battery. Anyway, they told me I didn't have to do a boring unboxing video, but you guys can suffer through this just like I am. It's harder for me to make this than it is for you guys to watch it, trust me. EcoFlow Wave 2 add-on battery. And this is a battery. Look at that thing. It's pretty neat. I was watching that video. Yeah, I'm just telling you what I saw in other videos, and you guys can watch them. Like I told you, all I want to do is use this thing. But I was watching on that video, and this hooks up directly into this thing here. The little lights over here tell you where the battery is going to be at. You can plug in your phone. It's got a micro USB and a regular USB. Pretty cool. That is definitely what I call a battery. So with this thing, it comes with a lot of different stuff, like ways to vent it. Ooh, that's got even a bigger book. Just where's the on button, and does it cool and does it heat? There's two inlet and an outlet, so you can vent it in and out of the building, or you can leave it outside and vent it in. It's got a drain pipe. Ooh, there's a plug-in. I'm going to need that. So here is our air conditioning unit. Air conditioning and heating. It's pretty cool though, because if you think about like the two upstairs bedrooms in the house I have 5,000 BTU units in there, and this is a 5100, so I mean them rooms get super cold. So this really does put out the cool air. Right here we have the power to charge it off or run it off of shore power, solar hookup, and this is the thing that hooks the battery to it. So like right now I could just plug this into the wall with the electric and just run the unit like any other unit. It wouldn't be a big deal. But I add the battery onto it and then hook them together, and then I plug it into here, and not only will it charge the battery, but it would also run the unit, and then when I don't want to use power, the battery can take over or just run it on battery. That thing is really quiet too. I wonder, is that wind blowing against the camera? No. Pretty neat. But let's get this hooked up to the battery so that battery can charge. Now that we have the battery hooked on there, that is pretty cool. Now I should just be able to plug the unit back in, and we should be able to see how this thing is charging. And there we can see, you've got the one full, second one's flashing, and we've got 4. This is something that goes in the window, so you can have your, inlet, outlet, hooked in here, and I watched the one other video, and somebody did say that they wish that it was extended so that it'll, you know, so you can like close the window all the way down on it. So I will have to do something like that. I think the fish house windows go side to side, and I'll have to figure something out so that would fit tight. And you know what? This is that foam that's just glued together. I think mine's thicker than this. I have a whole panel of this from when I made Melissa's jewelry box, and I just saw it out in that front garage. So I should be able to make something that, even if I like glue it on the back side of this, that is this exact size I need, and I can just cut the holes in it. Yeah, that'll work really good. Alright, so I'll let these charge overnight, and then tomorrow we can use them. Wonder what this is at. It's already up to 56%. 48 minutes left of charging. This one has a little fan too, I just heard it come on. You know, before I run into the house, let's open up this solar panel and just see what it looks like. Huh, comes with a real nice carrying case. I know that the panels, you know, fold out and everything, but this is kind of intimidating to me, so I think we'll come back to this another day. Right now I'm not going to be using this. We're going to get those batteries charged up, and then in previous in future videos we can plug this in and check it all out. That is so cool. I've never had a solar panel before. Wow, pretty neat. Well, that's it for tonight. We'll come out tomorrow. I mean, we got the crawfish and shrimp boil tomorrow. So, and like I said, I got to go up and get propane. It's going to be a busy day. It should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't had boiled crawfish and shrimp for a long time. And then we can put this out in the fish house camper and see how she does. I forgot to say one more thing about that I saw in that video. And I know I'm going to forget, so I'm coming back out here because I thought that was the coolest thing. I have no idea what buttons you push. I know that this thing, there's an app for it. Everybody raves about the app. You can run it from wherever because it's got Wi-Fi. So, but the coolest thing was they plugged something into this. It was a light, and then it was plugged into shore power. And then so the light was running off electricity when this was plugged in. Then he unplugged it, and it automatically kicked to battery and worked. And I thought that was neat because you're not always just running off the battery. If you're plugged in, whatever he did, it was running on the power, because when he undid it, it was like he said, like a 30th of a megasecond. The light bulb just went, you know, just out for a second and came back on. Then it switched to battery. So you're not always draining the battery with it. And why I thought that was neat was, you know, downstairs we have those water pump, or yeah, the pumps that have to pump out the water in the spring. And sometimes they're going off like every single minute when the snow is melting. And we always worry about if the power goes out and we're not home, what's going to happen? I don't have a battery backup. I have generator that runs everything, but if we're not home, that basement it'll flood in the spring. So anyway, if we had something like this hooked up to it, the power goes out, immediately it kicks to the battery and would run that pump, and it solves all that trouble for us. So yeah, I wanted to mention that because I'll never remember again. I just opened up a perfectly nice cold beer too. Didn't even get a sip of it. And then I remembered I had to add that in. What are you doing, Joni? Good morning, everybody. Gonna run up and get some propane. I've got to stop and get some tea for Melissa because we're just about out of tea bags. We have this light misty rain going on, and when I look at the radar, there's nothing over us. It just says it's cloudy. They've been cutting these trees down. Last year they did some right here. And now they're doing more, and I have no idea why they're cutting those down. To me, it makes no sense. I stopped and got propane, went into Super One and got some tea and some garlic cloves. And I think that's all I'm gonna need for the boil today. The only thing Melissa had forgot to get was garlic. Trying to figure out which pot I want to use. I think maybe this one right here. If you're ever thinking about getting one of these burners for something like this, get that double burner one. It's a total life changer. It's just so fast heating up water compared to the single, which is really needed when you dump your stuff in there and it stops boiling. You want it to get it back to a boil as soon as possible. And this thing, sometimes it doesn't even stop boiling. I'm just going to leave that on low just to kind of get it warmed up somewhat. Melissa will have to cut up the onions and garlic and everything like that. Everything's cooked. Just gonna let that sit there and soak for 20 minutes and it'll be time to eat. Looks delicious. Pork and alligator sausage cooking. Well, that boil was really good. It's been a long time since we had something like that, and now Melissa and I came out here and watched a few episodes of that show, but it's too cold outside. It's just now that the sun is coming out and it's getting warmer in here. But I wanted to come out and see where a person can put this or make something like this. I don't want to put it on the back part because that's made into a bed. Wouldn't want to have an air conditioner or heater back there. It fits real nice in here, but I've got the big space on top. Probably, I don't know if this would be the better window. Either way, either window would work. But we need to figure out how to either fill this in or use that other thing that I have to fill that out. The only thing is the other thing I believe is thicker. I think we'll go grab it. And it might be too thick to fit in here. It's kind of nice though, because no matter what you have, like the one, like we have, our house doesn't have central air. It just has one of them roll around units that you can put into a room, but it keeps the dining room, living room, bedroom pretty nice and cool. We don't worry about the kitchen and stuff. But the piece that goes through the window is one of them expandable plastic. And that works fine, but this is insulated. So you actually are saving on your energy usage, or keeping the cool in or the warmth in. I guess you wouldn't use this if you were running the heater. But anyway, you know what I mean, versus just having the one piece of plastic. So I thought this is kind of a neat idea. Just needs to be done a little bit differently. 11 5/8 inches. Oh, there's something in the middle there. I guess I need to add 11 1/4 inches. Well, I did get that piece. It fits in there perfectly. Well, I'm going to play with that some more tomorrow. I feel like I've been going 100 miles an hour for a whole entire week. Sven Guli's coming on. I'm editing a video. I think I'm just going to go inside and do that. what I thought I'd do for tonight is, this is where I plug in the campers. I just switched that from a 20 amp to a 30 amp going through there. So anyway, I brought out the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max out here. I'm going to plug it in to this tonight, turn on all the battery lights in there, which is what you usually run, and let's just see what happens. Let's see how charged it is in the morning. I'm not going to have it plugged in or anything. Right now it shows it at 98%. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Well, now I have the battery lights on. Let's see if... So that's electric. So definitely that's working, because if that was not plugged in there, my electric lights, the AC would not come on, just the DC. All I'm worried about, I just want to run the battery lights, because that's, if we were out camping, what we would do, and we wouldn't even have them all on. Yeah, let's do that and see what happens. I'll even turn the bathroom one on so that, I mean, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the outside one on too. I don't want to do that one because that's a really powerful light that takes a lot of power. We'll just do what we would usually have, like this one, and that one is on. What this will actually be doing, you know, the Fish House camper has its own battery set up, but you got to keep it plugged in to keep all that charged. You know, you plug it in, it keeps that battery charged, but there is the electric lights that you can kick on. Once you're unplugged from shore power, the electric lights don't work, but all the battery ones do. So what this will do, give a true representation of if we were out camping, weren't plugged into any power, didn't have the generator going, and of course all of the battery lights on, which we wouldn't have overnight. But anyway, it'll give a true representation of how long the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max will keep this charged. You know, how much, I mean, right now it's 8:30 probably, and I'll leave this on and we'll check it tomorrow morning. I don't know what time it'll be, sometime between 6 and 8, and see. I'm kind of excited for this, you can probably tell, but I'm kind of weird that way. I'm going to go back in there and watch some more of Svengoolie and edit some more on that video. It's chilly, it's already 49 degrees right now. But tomorrow I think it's supposed to get up to 73 or 74. It's going to be nice. Good morning, everybody. It got down to 36.1 degrees last night on my weather station, and that's up about 8 feet in the air. I'll have to check the garden to see if there was any frost. Everything was really damp, so, and it showed 1/10 of an inch of moisture since midnight, so I don't know, but it's been about 12 hours now since we plugged in the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max to the camper. Let's go check and see what that battery looks like. Lights are still on. Battery's down to, it's flashing on 0%, 0 hours and 1 minute left. So it drained that battery in 12 hours running that camper. I just plugged it in now. I'll just let that charge up. Well, that was a pretty big test for that battery because, you know, quiet time in a campground is 10 hours. I did it for 12. And, you know, remember, I'm doing this for the stuff that we would use it for. I could do a test where I have the, you know, plug in the circular saw and see what it uses and all that. And that's just not where I'm going to be using it. This is exactly what I would be using it for. And if we're shutting off the generator overnight, first of all, if I get 6 hours of sleep, I did good. So even if you had it off for 8 hours, I mean, you know, it would still have power. And when you're sleeping, you don't have every single light on in your camper, inside and out. You maybe have one light on and the refrigerator going. So I think that it did pretty good. I really do. We'll get that charged up. We'll do a few other, we're actually going to use it a lot and test it out a lot. But for right now, I just wanted to get a few of these done. And yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I do want to take that out. I think it's going to be sunny today. And we'll hook up the solar panel to it. And I'm just interested to see, I've never used one before. So I'm just kind of interested to see what kind of input that has. What we are doing now is I'm getting the beans ready to be canned. And this here is Melissa's going to shred some zucchini and get them in the freeze dryer. Melissa's getting the zucchini into the freeze dryer. The first batch of beans is in. As soon as it gets up, I want to be around 11 pounds. And then I'll start the time, and I have to do it for 25 minutes. All 14 quarts are done and sealed, and the kitchen is a mess. Well, now I'm out here with the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, and I hooked up the solar panel, and that's a 220 watt panel according to what the box said. And first I plugged in directly to the camper and turned the electric lights on, and it said I had 8 hours of time before the battery would be out. And right now the output is 196. It was at 200, and then it's really weird. I've never had a solar panel, so when the cloud went over the sun, it went down to like 80 for input. Now it's inputting at 121, but it ups my hours from 8 hours to 17 hours. And then of course when the sun goes behind the cloud, it dropped down to about 12. I can see where you could do a lot of videos on this thing, just trying to play around with it and see what it'll do. I mean, if you had two 400 watt solar panels, you know, you could go for a long time. And I mean, I even have I'm gonna go turn the electric lights off. Right now it says 17 hours, and my output is 195 watts. Now I'm pulling 146, 147, I'm putting in 119, and now I'm up to 36 hours of runtime. Very cool. Alright, well I just hauled this out here, the EcoFlow Wave 2. This is the air conditioner heater, because it is 80 degrees in here right now, and I have it plugged into the wall, so it's on electricity, but the electricity is running off the battery. And you have to keep in mind with that battery, when you buy one of them, I mean, you guys all know that, you're not buying them so you can live the same life you were living. It's, you know, it's a disaster preparedness type thing where you have it if the power goes out, or you know, whatever happens, which happens a lot here in the wintertime. You guys have watched the videos. So right now I've got it plugged in there just because I don't want to plug this into shore power, just because we're doing solar panels right now. But I do want to get this and see just how it cools. I mean, it's 5,000 BTU cooling, so it should be pretty good. And I'm not gonna, you know how we did that vent thing yesterday? The way that's set up is if I were to put this outside, I would have an inlet and an outlet, so I don't have to hear this thing, and it's not even that loud. So that could be outside, or like if a lot of people, if they use this with a tent, you're not going to want this taking up room in the tent, so then you would just have it suck in air from the outside, or you could run both, you know, and push the cold air in. The nice thing about pushing the cold air in and pulling the air out is you're pulling out the warm air, pushing in cold, and as it cools, this is working less hard than if it's just pulling outside air, cooling it, and shoving it inside the room. But for us right here, I can just drain this. You know, if you have the one exiting outside, you do not have to have a drain pipe because all your moisture goes out. If I have this and it's doing it inside, there's a drain pan in there, and we have a drain pipe, and in the fish house, it's super simple to drain it. Just let it go through the hole. So let's turn this thing on and see what happens. Try to keep that cord as short as we can. And you guys do know that you're going to have to watch me play around with this before I know what's going on. I'm not real good at reading the directions and then figuring it out. I mean, it gives me a rough idea, but you know, I really need to use stuff before I figure it out. And then there's a lot more stuff you can do with that app. So according to this right now, power button got turned on, and my setting button should be over here, and I want the snowflake. There's the snowflake. Mode selection, which must be this one, which I'm going to want to be on max. There's max. Alright, so we're just going to let this blow cold air, and we're going to come out and check it. The reason why I'm trying to get a little bit of things, a whole bunch of little things shown right now, is because this video ends tonight. It's Sunday. So I wanted to get a little bit of everything, and then you guys are going to watch me fumble through it in the videos that are up and coming. So excited. We got not this weekend, not next weekend, which is Labor Day. I think it's the 2 weekends after that, I think is the big ice castle, the whole fish house thing that we're going to, where I wanted this stuff for that. And yeah, then I get home on Sunday, and that following Thursday, it's drive up for a duck hunting opener. I think I'm going to go get the adapter for right here and grab the one hose and put it out the window. This air coming out is really warm, and I can vent it out. Otherwise, this is a pretty big camper, so until it sucks this air in and gets it cooled down, I can really cut down on my power consumption by venting this out the window. I won't do the inlet one. I'll close that one up, but yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Can't do that window. Wrong window. Over here.
I just want to see what we might need.
Oh, Melissa just came out here, and yeah, it blows out that air pretty nice. And it's going to take me a while to even know what we're doing. Maybe I always have to vent it outside, but I don't know. There was a picture. They have more pictures than they do telling you what it'll do, but yeah, it was really blowing the hot air in here. Not anymore. That works pretty good. And now this is running off its own battery. Like I can unplug it from the wall and it just keeps running. But I'm also charging it from the other battery, which is being charged from solar. It's amazing how you can link so much stuff together. We'll come out in about an hour or so and see how the EcoFlow Wave 2 is doing. Just let this run. And one thing Melissa said when she was out here is what we need to do, I had everything on last night as far as battery power goes, pretty much, you know, all the lights. And she said it would be more fun to do one, plug the camper in like we usually have it, where it's pretty much just running the refrigerator. You know, very seldom do the lights come on, and see how far that battery would go. And we'll definitely do things like that in the future also. And we'll see how this is doing too. The sun is behind the clouds right now. It says it'll run for 2 hours. So charging that battery takes a lot. And input though is only 36 and output is about 600. And then when the sun comes out, it jumped up to like 5 hours. Battery's at 78%. I'm really interested in that generator that they have, the dual fuel generator. Wouldn't that just be the coolest thing? You could run everything off the battery, and when the battery gets down too low, the generator automatically pops on to recharge the battery. But right now, Melissa and I need to go into the garden and pick any tomatoes, and we're gonna go pick some blackberries. That sun just came out, and look at how much just adds the hours on like nothing, and then back down. Probably a boring video, but I'm having a fun time. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Holy crap.
Dry. Does it matter?
I thought that these were, oh, these are all drip headers. Other stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get a knife and cut one of these. Like this one feels like, I don't think that they're ready yet, but
No,
the plant
they're
died.
not.
But I do want to check them, so I'll be right back. Oh, yes it is. That's really nice. See that? Nice and ripe. It's not bad.
Not good.
No, it's getting color early and it didn't grow that good. It's just the one pear tree. What is that, a URE pear?
Yeah.
Just does not do that good. Well, I just switched off the battery out there and plugged everything back into shore power, came in here and shut this air conditioner off, just winding it down for tonight. I had it going for about an hour and a half. It dropped it from 80 down to 74. And so it definitely does cool. Melissa and I came out here for a little bit and it was like it's blowing that way, so it was nice and cool back there by the bed. So yeah, there's a learning curve on this whole thing, but at least we got started on it. And so far, the EcoFlow Wave 2 and the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max seem to work really good. I switched the solar panel around, covered this up with plastic because it looked like there might be a small rain shower coming. I don't want to haul it in, it didn't look like much. And then tomorrow, the sun's going to come up and I'm just going to let the battery charge off the solar panel. It's going to be nice because the Land Castle event is coming up and we'll be able to use it. Week after that is duck hunting at duck camp. I've never had that much battery up at duck camp. It's going to be nice. I'm going to bring that up there and it's, oh, look at you guys. There's a deer out in the field. Hold on. That's right. Eat those trees down so I don't have to mow them. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. Had a nice seafood boil. Actually a really nice weekend. We even agreed tonight on a spot to plant the elderberry plants. I think we have 5 of them or something. But they grow 12 feet tall and they get like 12 feet wide on top. So we finally agreed so I can get these in the ground before winter time. Now we just have to agree on a place to put the blueberries. I will see you guys on the next video.